Hi, this is Steve Barrett, Editorial Director of MM&M. Really delighted to be here at Cannes in the Haymarket Cabana with Chris Neuner, who's Chief Revenue Officer at PulsePoint. Chris, welcome.
Thank you, Steve.
Nice spot to hang out and chat about the trends that you've been seeing so far.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It is beautiful, but there's a lot of serious business going on as well, isn't there? And some of the trends that really kicked off in big time last year, data and analytics, and how it pertains to the healthcare sector, is a big concentration for PulsePoint. But what are you seeing this year? Has that changed up a bit, that trend? And how's PulsePoint playing into those trends?
Yeah, so it's pretty similar to what we saw last year. I think the first space that is amazing to see is how inspiring. So you see this connection from brands and agencies to patients. And you see this empathy, this layer of how can we put ourselves in your seat, and what can we do in order to help you move on with your journey. And so that was last year, that was this year. The other things that we're definitely seeing is technology. People are just talking about how they're using data and technology to help and improve patient outcomes, and that's basically where PulsePoint comes in.
You're in an interesting position because you deal with the agencies and the clients. So tell us a little bit about how that works and how you fit into that matrix.
Yeah, so we are working with Facebook, we are working with Google, but we are the technology provider to these life science brands and agencies. So specifically, if an agency were to go into a Google AdWords product or a Facebook product, they would not be able to access the layers of customization that we provide on top of Facebook. And let me give you two instances. One instance would be contextualization. One thing that we've done with our contextualizer is we've mapped it to the National Institute of Health. And so we have over 27,000 medical keywords. So if you're looking for diabetes, we have all the family taxonomies that are related to diabetes, and we can then look at pages and rank those pages, whether they're truly speaking about diabetes or if they're not. One example I give to clients all the time is, imagine if they thought they were on a cancer website, but really they were looking at astrology and horoscopes next to Taurus. And that layer of contextualization is only possible when you have cross references of all of those families of taxonomy. So that's one of the things. And secondly, there are medically safe ways to bring in data from companies like Symphony and Crossix and IQVIA to build better segments in order to have better communication with patients and physicians. We can even target on an NPI level, which is getting way into the weeds. Yeah. But we can literally look at a specific physician who hasn't been treating their patients with a certain type of treatment when they should be educated and detailed is the term. So they are absolutely complementary. We just provide the additional layer that marketers need in order to find those patients and physicians.
So it's changed incredibly, hasn't it? And you have this phrase, radical health personalization, and is that really the summation of that, or are there other elements?
That level of customization, and Steve, I'm so glad you brought that up, which is because if you just think about yourself and think about myself, right? You might have a Fitbit, or you might have your Apple phone that's got Health Kit. We are grabbing so much more information off of ourself. There's a term called the quantified self, and the quantified self is there's just so much information. Imagine if we can use that information for good, and we can pair that information with the right message, at the right person at the right time. And so in many instances, we're suffering from so many silent diseases that if you could extract that data and be more predictive with artificial intelligence, I'll put all the buzzwords, and natural language processing, that's contextualization. If you bring that all together, that's what PulsePoint is calling radical health personalization, and it's giving you the treatment and the information and the data that you need in order to live a healthier life.
Chris, fascinating to chat. Enjoy the rest of the week, and thanks for sharing your insights.